Okay.
Yeah, just to add this, I have a perspective that for Africa to change and for the world to change at large, we need three particular things in a particular order. We need the highly involvement of women in leadership and politics, we need the involvement of youth in leadership and politics, and we need the advanced technology of innovation and technology. Being just wives or mothers, but to dream to also have amazing outstanding careers. Yes. Oh, awesome. So I don't really get asked this question a lot, but most of the times I always like to go back to my why, right? And I come from a place in Nigeria. I'm from Delta State in Nigeria, and I'm Urhobo by tribe. And the Urhobo culture tends to put women in a very objectifying manner. But I'm lucky to have a dad who is very open-minded and who has never in any way relegated my mom to being an object or relegated my mom to be a second-class citizen. My dad has so much value and respect for my mom and for every woman that gets back in contact with. And for me, that was the first inspiration that I always actually had from my dad.
You're highly welcome to my chat, Izik. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah. So going through your profile, I noticed that you built an impressive career spanning from fashion, media, and public speaking. What initially inspired you to pursue these diverse fields, and how do they intersect with your professional journey?
Awesome. Okay, first, thank you so much for having me on the Career Chronicles at the I'm super excited to be here and talking about my journey. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, so the three of them are super intertwined: fashion, public speaking, and media. You can't take away fashion. Fashion is everyday life, right? So fashion is everyday life, and take that out of our daily living. I started off by being a model. I started off by doing beauty pageants and working in fashion shows and runways. And after a while, I wanted so much more for myself, so I started doing red carpets and hosting events until I decided to pursue broadcasting professionally. And I went on to start hosting shows on radio, then from radio to TV, reading the news, and hosting the live shows on radio, TV rather. And so it's just super amazing. But the beauty of it is, I love to talk to people, right? And my anchor has been talking for income and for impact. So that has been the whole forte of me speaking to people and being in the world of public speaking. But a very good way is, how do you yeah, so I was just saying, in all of these things, you just always need to present yourself properly in public. You always need to show up right and show up well. And I've come to understand that one of the quickest ways for people to get to know you, part of your brand identity, is how you appear, how you dress. And so, being a lover of fashion, I always tend to make sure that I always represent myself properly, represent my brand properly. I always dress perfectly fine. And by so doing, that has my background as a model has connected with lots of fashion entrepreneurs, collaborating with Peter and Shoba. The artistic side of being a fashion designer is expressed through me while I stand up emceeing shows or being on TV as a TV host. Yeah.
Wow, that is a whole lot. Yes, just as you said, passion is always behind everything, and I can see the passion have actually made you someone that is outstanding in your field. And you are dedicated to the SDG 5, that is gender equality, inclusion, diversity, and representation. And that is that is evident in your work. You know, this gender equality, like when it comes to Africa, is something that is not common. You always see the African typical belief. Now, the question is, how do you leverage your platform, both in fashion and public speaking, to promote these values and to create meaningful changes in this area?
Oh, awesome. So I don't really get asked this question a lot, but most of the times I always like to go back to my why, right? And I come from a place in Nigeria. I'm from Delta State in Nigeria, and I'm Urhobo by tribe. And the Urhobo culture tends to put women in a very objectifying manner. But I'm lucky to have a dad who is very open-minded and who has never in any way relegated my mom to being an object or relegated my mom to be a second-class citizen. My dad has so much value and respect for my mom and for every woman that gets ever come in contact with. And for me, that was the first inspiration that I always actually had from my dad. And so moving on, I ensure that I always use my platform. I'm very vocal about being a feminist. I'm very vocal about being someone who advocates for women's rights. But I advocate for women's rights. I advocate for healthy leadership across all sectors, and most especially in the creative sector. I might be hosting events and you will hear me use the lines of celebrating women anything, anytime. In fact, just recently, on Saturday, I was hosting TEDx Maitama, and just right there, it just clicked on me that almost all the speakers were women. And I clearly just have to craft the line to tell them that we have such a
Mm,
beautiful, amazing lineup of women who have conquered their fields, who have defied stereotypes and changed narratives, and they actually carry the full essence of what it means to be a commanding woman. And I told them in the audience, if you're proud to be a woman, please appreciate yourselves, because we live in a society whereby women are always put on as second class citizens, especially in Africa. And I will always emphasize on this. What gender equality is in Africa is what gender equality is in the UK. So locations have disparities to what gender equality is. But in Africa, let's call a spade and let's itemize the problem. Women are always put as second class citizens. You don't find so much
mm,
women represented in power, in leadership. In fact, even in business corporate leadership, why don't we have
mm.
so many women represented in these spaces? And so at every point in time that I have every opportunity, I'm always very vocal about seeing women being in these positions. And for the very few ones that are there, I ensure that I celebrate the works they actually do, to ensure that their works are highlighted, to inspire other younger girls to dream aside being just wives or mothers, but to dream to also have amazing outstanding careers. Yes.
Wow, I really love your why, and I can see it started from your home, from your family, from where you were raised from. Yes, and I also
Yes.
celebrate myself. Thank you for celebrating us and for believing in us that we can always speak out, we can always represent what we believe in without anything like cultural differences. And yes,
Just to
I
add,
also
just to
learned.
add this,
Okay.
Yeah, just to add this, I have a perspective that for Africa to change and for the world to change at large, we need three particular things in a particular order. We need the highly involvement of women in leadership and politics. We need the involvement of youth in leadership and politics. And we need the advanced technology of innovation and technology for us to scale as Africans and to us to scale globally. That's always my perspective. Because women share a very dynamic leadership perspective. And when we have the leadership positions, it is a game changer. I can't listen so much. We had the likes of Okonjo Iweala, we had the likes of late Dorak, who really transformed NAFTAC in Nigeria and made a serene purge in the drug and food administration control. We had the likes of Dr. Obieze Kwesi, the one-time Minister of Education of Nigeria, and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Genevieve Onaji, Moa Budu, and these are women who are changing narratives and shaping the culture and shaping systems. So imagine that you have so many of those women in different spaces creating dynamic change. Definitely, what's going to happen? Upscale development.
Of course, I totally agree with you. Yes. Um, you have an impact with with Isaac. I read
Yes,
about it on LinkedIn. That was your personal
yes,
initiative, and you have actually
yes,
nurtured over 200 young talent in the creative industry. What inspired you
yes.
to create this platform, and how do you see it shaping the future of young creatives in Africa and beyond?
All right. So I'm a product of mentorship. And I always talk about the importance of mentorship in everyone's career. As a budding up young MC, I never really had the opportunity to access mentorship so quickly, right? There were books as regards on mastering of ceremony and books on public speaking, but there were so very intricate things involved in this profession that was never shared in those books. And that's what mentorship could actually cover. And at some point in time, I got mentored by Joyce Daniels. He's a very amazing public speaker and master ceremony, by the way. Wherever she is right now, may God bless her soul. She has been such an amazing instrumental pivotal change in my career. And afterwards, I decided to say, if Trismus can replicate herself in several speakers across Africa to create a ripple effect, I think that I can do my own quota by doing the same for people. So I
Mm,
started off by volunteering with organizations as facilitators to train people on public speaking and communication skills and human connection. And I thought to
mm,
myself, why don't I even start this on my own? And the very
mhm.
first Impact with Isaac was launched in 2020 during the
Wow.
lockdown. And we started from there. And from there, we moved on 2021, 2022. And this year, we're also going to have another edition just this Saturday. And it's been so amazing because when you teach people about a particular set of things, it makes you
Mhm,
a master in that field. By so doing, you're pouring out yourself to
mhm.
people. And the beauty of
Yeah.
it is being a mentor to over young people and putting them in a certain light towards where they should go and understanding the careers part of they have chosen. It's a very big joy to me. And it's causing me a ripple because I for certainly know that if I train A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H today, they will also go back and train A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H tomorrow. And that ripple effect will begin to occur. And by so doing, we begin to have outstanding creators in the industry. Yes.
I like that reason because once you train ABC, then they also train CDE, and before we know it, everybody will get trained, and the circle will go round and round, and that's a nice one. And I just want to chip in another thing. Public speaking is a challenge for the youth nowadays. I also experienced that kind of challenge growing up because when we were growing up, we're not trained to speak publicly, and probably the environment where I grew up from, and for the fact that I'm also an introvert, so it's affected me a lot. And this generation where we are, you need to tell people what you do, even if you are good at it. Nobody is going to see you. Yes. You cannot express yourself. You cannot pitch yourself. You cannot tell people out there that this is what I do. This is how I'm going to do it. Nobody is going to to recognize you because they don't even hear from you personally. So I just want to know, how do you do this? Do you do it in form of training virtually, or that's to be in person? And what are your audience age range?
Okay. So we have done this several platforms, tried several means to find a way that is very effective. Instead of doing this virtually, we have done virtual trainings. In fact, every month I have a special training that we do every month virtually, free. Also, we had physical trainings, we had physical meetups and in different locations. We've also done one-on-one in-person coaching. And sometimes, just of recent, I'm going to partner with a local government area in my state to do a public speaking training for teenagers. And so it's just beautiful how day by day the gym just keeps to expand and the gym's expanding. And the beauty of it is we are hitting the particular goal of ensuring that people become affluent and eloquent speakers. Some of the mantra that public speaking is not a talent, public speaking is a skill that is learned and harnessed and mastered. And eloquency and fluency is something that everyone needs for them to be able to articulate their ideas perfectly fine. Yeah, just in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now just another more question for the virtual events that you organize monthly. Like, can anybody that is within that age, maybe a teenager, can they join your community? And if they want to join,
everyone is welcome.
Contact.
Everyone is welcome to actually join. There's no rudiment or any criteria for you to join. Whether you have a smartphone, you can just join. A teenager, an adult, a working class, whoever that you are, you're free to join just to upscale your speaking prowess. Yes, the door is open. So if you want to join, you can just reach out to me. I can actually always share the WhatsApp link, and you can just join the WhatsApp group, and you'll find yourself abreast with the classes that we do every month.
Okay. Thanks so much for that. I think that's going to really help a lot of people. I would also like to join because there is no end to knowledge.
Sure.
Okay.
End to knowledge, sure.
Yes. You have the opportunity to work with national and international organizations, including NGOs and government bodies. What have been some of your most memorable experiences working with these groups, and how have they influenced your career vision moving forward?
Oh, that's a tough question. The honest truth is, every event comes with its own achievement. Every event comes with its own, right? I can always highlight what is so important about the event. But for me, I think the joy I always take out from this event is when people walk up to me and tell me, "Oh, thank you so much. You did master the event so well. I love your charisma, your charisma shine through the stage. I'm truly inspired by your person." These words always make me just, in fact, it fuels my passion day by day. I think August, I hosted a conference that had over 2,000 persons in attendance with various government and private individuals as stakeholders, as speakers for the conference. And after the job, I got so many reviews and recommendations. And it was just a touch to the fact that every day by day we strive for excellence. And we keep learning to get better at what we do. Every event just comes with its own perk, comes with its own accomplishment. Every event is always new to me. It's always a breath of fresh air to me. I can't pick one event over the other because that experience that people I always get to connect with is priceless for me. Wow. And speaking about shaping my career, every event comes with its own challenges, and you always get to learn every event. And to me, that's a stepping stone for me to become a better version of being a master certified public speaker. Yeah.
That's a whole lot. I can see the passion. The passion is just there. There's nothing to say about it. Yes, I noticed that you've hosted TEDx events, and I've never attended a TEDx event before. So one day I was just having I have a son that is a public speaker. He's just 8 years old.
Awesome.
So he just likes speaking publicly, like anywhere he goes to. Even before they recognize the mother, he has already made a lot of friends. And even in school, I just changed their school, and on the assembly ground, he said he wants to talk. And I just want to boost, as in build a career for him around that space. So I was discussing with my friend, and she
Yeah.
was telling me that I should host a TEDx event in my community. I was like, wow,
Then,
this is too big for me now. How do you expect me to host? She said, no, that as you are just saying it, you can just start planning it, that I should try and work towards it. And I've actually added that to my future plan, that, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'll plan about it. So how does
I
it
think
look like,
I
a
saw that on your
TEDx
LinkedIn.
event? Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So the TED Talk platform is an international speaking platform, right? And perhaps maybe when you do a bit of background research, you get to find out that so it is called TEDx as an independently organized event in your locality, but the overall platform is called TEDx. Yeah. So if you want to
Okay.
organize a TEDx event in your community, you would have to apply for a license, and they'll give you a license to use and apply in them, organizing on your community. Then you can now get the speakers, apply, reach out to your speakers, reach out to the team, get your volunteers, and set up the event together. They have a bit of a standard and a bit of guidelines that you have to go through and ensure that you actually put up your event. After your event is done, you send your videos to the official platform. And if your videos are accepted, then videos are uploaded on the official TED platform. So this is my second time seeing a TEDx event. It's always fun to MC TEDx event because it's a ground whereby you listen to transformative stories of great speakers. It's always about good storytelling, ideas that are worth spreading. You tend to hear people say things that are not common, that are very disruptive, that challenges the normal, and you hear them saying their stories, and you get very much inspired. But the beauty of TED now, it comes with a fusion of transformative talks and entertainment. So good music, comedy at the same time, good speakers, just merge them together and have a very good atmosphere for people to come and learn and have fun at the same time. At the end of the day, they still network to form collaborations to sustain them. So that's the beauty of a TEDx event. Yeah.
Well, thanks for shedding more light on that. And this is going to be the
You're
wrap on the
welcome.
show. Thanks so much for
Okay.
joining the chat. And we look forward to connecting with you to learn more about your community, your WhatsApp community as well. So thank you
I'm
for
super
sharing
delighted
that.
out. Thank you so much. Definitely, we'll continue
All
our chat
right.
on LinkedIn, and definitely I'll share you the link also.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
really
Yes,
super
you can
grateful
share
for
it with
having
me.
me.
All right.
That's fine.
Okay, bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
the rest
much.
of your
I enjoy
day.
the rest of the evening, and you too. Bye.
Bye.